Getting views on your new videos is simultaneously one of the hardest skills to develop, as well as one of the most important skills you need to develop as a YouTuber. Today, I want to show you a few simple tips and tricks to figure out what videos to make to get those views right here on the Gamer's Guide to YouTube. If this is our first time meeting, hi, I'm Commander Tom, your host, and I want to show you how to level up your channel to actually get to the places you want to be here on the platform. Now, for the first tip, let's go ahead and go to the monitors and let's go visit YouTube itself, and I'll show you what I mean. Alright, so if we take a look here, you'll notice that I'm not signed in. I'm in incognito mode because I want to give this the most fair reflection of results without my unique user data coming in. This magic bar right here is what I'm talking about, the YouTube search bar, because it has a feature, especially on desktop, called autocomplete. And that autocomplete list, and let me give you an example. I am a gamer, and my primary game is The Long Dark. So if we start to type that in, we'll notice things start to be completed. Suggestions. These suggestions are created by popularity, by people putting in these suggestions over and over and over again. YouTube is trying to create a pleasant user experience. Remember, YouTube is built for viewers. And in their attempt to create a convenient user experience, they use autocomplete as a way to suggest, anticipate, save a few keystrokes for their precious users. Well, in that autocomplete process, they are giving us suggested titles, subjects that people are looking for. So as you probably know, I'm a gamer, and my primary game is actually The Long Dark. So if we go ahead and fill in that much, what do we have next? We have The Long Dark gameplay, review, trailer, tips, multiplayer, interloper, soundtrack, episode 4. I have a good feeling about this one, so let's go ahead and click on it. And I'm not crazy. Here I am with maybe 1,000 subscribers, and I'm in the top 3. I'm above the fold. And as mentioned in prior videos, I don't feel you have to be number 1 to win it all. I feel that if you can get yourself into the top 4 spots, above the fold, to borrow an old newspaper phrase, then your title and your thumbnail are doing the fighting for you, and I call it a fair fight. So if you can just get it to where you're in the top 4 of a searchable term, I think you have a great opportunity to really start boosting some views to that video and adding discovery of yourself and your channel. So this is why I'm sharing you these ideas to get to that position. Now, episode 4 was a logical thing because it hasn't come out yet, so people are looking for news. But if you're with a niche that doesn't have a new episode coming out, let's think about what else we could do here. Well, let's talk about interloper, which is a difficulty setting. So if you have a game that has different difficulty settings, you can look in through that. Now, I don't play a lot of interloper, so I'm not going to rank too high on this. But I do know many of these game players. Let's take a look at some other options here. Stardew Valley had an update. And that update had a lot to do with a mine expansion. And we take a look through here. And again, we see this is a year old, but it's still in the top 4. And we're seeing that compared to some of the larger names, that I'm still holding on very well. Now, if we take a look, we see that if we just bring up the subject of weight, not even finishing the sentence, we see weight management for The Long Dark. And that's a subject that my video has been in top spot, and I'll be very honest, this is the first video that ever broke out very large to do well for me. But if you just know a little bit about your niche and start typing that in and let autocomplete give you suggestions, these are the titles and subjects to make videos of that automatically you'll be in the neighborhood of what people are looking for, so there'll be interest of what you create. In essence, you want to give the people what they want. And that's one way to find out what they want, is to look through the auto-completed suggestions of the YouTube search bar. Now, I know that seems ridiculously simple, but don't overlook it, because that's a really powerful tip. I know some of you are going to want other ideas, because when I tell you, give the people what they want, you're going to tell me, I don't have any comments, I don't have any viewers, I don't have any people telling me what they want. Okay? You need to find your people. But that's easier said than done. The second option I'm going to suggest to you then is, and follow me here, finish this video, because there are 4 very important steps to this. First, seek out groups and other places that you're probably already at. Facebook, Reddit, Discord, especially gamers, but really any niche. Usually people interested in that subject gather together. They gather together to share tips, tricks, talks, just basically hang out with each other, because the sheer fact that that group is focused on that niche, they already have some sort of familiarity with each other and they want to hang. Join those groups. I absolutely encourage you to do that. However, I absolutely forbid you from spamming. Don't spam them. That is NewTuber Air 101, and it's the greatest sin any NewTuber ever does. Just because you find a group, especially a group that is related to your niche, don't just drop your video links in unannounced. That will very likely get you kicked out of the group, and it's not going to create the kind of views that you want. Okay, so step 1 is find the group. Step 2, and the commander says this with love, sit down and shut up. Yeah, I'm going to say that again. Find the group, then sit down and shut up. Listen. Step 3 is listen. Read the comments. Write down the questions that those members are asking. Literally, write them down on a piece of paper, copy them onto another document. Especially if questions are repeated. Especially if people are asking the same question or similar question over and over and over again. Granted, yes, this might be from quote-unquote noobs to the niche, but who cares? People who don't know the things that you know are exactly the people you want for your audience, because they are people you can share your knowledge with. That's how you build an audience. So join the groups, sit down, shut up, do not spam. Listen to the questions being asked, write them down. When it's repeated, put a little notch by it. Start a little tally mark. And as those tallies grow, make videos answering those questions. That way you know that there is an audience for it. One of the things we know, and I mean this in a broad historical sense, I'm talking all the way to ancient of days here, all right, is that people don't change that much. They've done archaeology, and even ancient Egyptians, they were reading literally scraps of pottery and clay with hieroglyphic writing on that, talking about, you know, a friend of mine wanted me to help move his materials from his old house to his new house. He had no suggestion of payment. the fool. If you want my help, just give me beer. Seriously, that was ancient Egypt. Another observation of ancient history is there's complaints literally in ancient Greece of, men in their 20s were far too focused on wine, women, and song. Sounds an awful lot like college guys interested in sex, drugs, and rock and roll to me. People don't change that often. So I point these out because if you have found a group somewhere, anywhere, as I said, Facebook, Reddit, Discord, the same questions that are being asked in those areas are being typed into Google and being typed into YouTube. So if you can make the videos that answer those questions, your videos will likely be put in front of them to give you your views and opportunities to level up your channel. That's how you start building an audience. Kind of like how I'm trying to answer your questions on how to build an audience. If videos like this help you out, leave a like and subscribe. If you want to see more, that's what playlists are for. I'm Commander Tom, and I will see you next time. Thanks.